The Panama Canal, an engineering wonder, a symbol of human determination. For more than 100 years, it has been the cornerstone of global trade, a 50-mile passage linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Since its inauguration in 1914, the Panama Canal has reduced shipping times and expenses. It has enabled the flow of goods, people, and ideas across continents. The canal revolutionized global shipping, establishing itself as a vital artery of international trade. The Panama Canal's influence goes beyond economics. Its strategic value is indisputable. The United States, aware of its importance, controlled the canal for much of the 20th century. This control shaped geopolitical dynamics in the region and beyond. The canal's history is marked by power struggles, economic competition, and the ever-changing landscape of global trade. Today, the Panama Canal faces new obstacles. Climate change endangers its very survival. The canal depends on a delicate balance of rainfall and freshwater reserves. Now, both are diminishing. Droughts are becoming more frequent and intense. This water scarcity threatens the canal's ability to function at full capacity. Without sufficient water to raise and lower ships in its locks, the canal's future is uncertain. The Panama Canal's vulnerability has revealed the world's dependence on this crucial waterway. It has also ignited a search for alternatives. The Panama Canal is facing its most formidable challenge yet: climate change. The canal's operation depends on a delicate balance of rainfall. This rainfall feeds the artificial lakes that supply water to its locks. However, this balance is being disrupted. Climate change is causing more extreme weather patterns in Panama. Droughts are becoming more frequent and intense. The consequences are already being felt. In recent years, the Panama Canal Authority has been forced to impose draft restrictions on ships. These restrictions limit the amount of cargo a vessel can carry. This measure is taken to conserve water. The restrictions, however, have led to delays and increased shipping costs. This situation highlights the canal's vulnerability to climate change. The Panama Canal Authority is acutely aware of the problem. It is investing in water-saving technologies and exploring alternative water sources. However, these efforts may not be enough. The long-term viability of the canal is in question. This uncertainty has prompted other nations to seek alternative routes. China, the world's second-largest economy, is heavily reliant on the Panama Canal. The majority of its exports to the Americas pass through this waterway. However, China is also aware of the canal's vulnerabilities. To mitigate risks, China has been actively seeking alternative routes. One such project has garnered significant attention: a proposed canal through Nicaragua. The Nicaragua Canal, if completed, would be longer and deeper than the Panama Canal. It would accommodate larger vessels, including supertankers and container ships. This project has the potential to reshape global shipping. It could diminish the Panama Canal's importance. The project has, however, faced numerous setbacks. Environmental concerns, funding challenges, and political instability in Nicaragua have cast doubt on its feasibility. Despite the challenges, China's interest in the Nicaragua Canal underscores a broader trend. The search for alternative shipping routes is intensifying. This search is driven by a desire for greater redundancy and resilience in global trade. While China sets its sights on Nicaragua, Mexico has been quietly developing its own alternative to the Panama Canal, the Tehuantepec Isthmus Railway. This upgraded rail corridor connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans across Mexico's narrowest point. It offers a shorter route than the Panama Canal for goods traveling between Asia and the east coast of North America. Unlike the Nicaragua Canal, which remains on the drawing board, the Tehuantepec Isthmus Railway is already operational. Mexico has invested heavily in modernizing the railway. It has upgraded infrastructure and expanded capacity. The railway can now accommodate larger cargo volumes. It offers a viable alternative to the Panama Canal, particularly for time-sensitive goods. Mexico's project has attracted interest from major shipping companies. They are eager to diversify their routes and reduce their reliance on the Panama Canal. The Tehuantepec Isthmus Railway, with its existing infrastructure and shorter transit times, presents a compelling option. Weighing the options. Can new routes outshine the Panama Canal? The Panama Canal, for all its history and grandeur, is facing unprecedented challenges. Climate change threatens its water supply, while competitors like the Nicaragua Canal and the Tehuantepec Isthmus Railway emerge as potential alternatives. The Nicaragua Canal holds the promise of accommodating larger vessels. This could be a game changer in an era of ever-increasing ship sizes. However, its environmental impact and the political and economic uncertainties in Nicaragua raise serious concerns. Mexico's Tehuantepec Isthmus Railway offers a more immediate solution. It already exists and can be further developed to handle a greater volume of cargo. However, it lacks the capacity to handle the very largest ships. The Panama Canal Authority is not standing idly by. It is investing in water-saving technologies and exploring alternative water sources to ensure the canal's long-term viability. The outcome of this race against time remains to be seen. Shifting tides. How new routes could reshape global trade. The emergence of alternative shipping routes has the potential to reshape the landscape of global trade. The Panama Canal, for over a century the undisputed king of interoceanic passage, could see its dominance challenged. This shift could have far-reaching consequences. One of the most significant impacts would be a diversification of trade routes. Instead of relying heavily on the Panama Canal, shipping companies would have more options for moving goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. This would lead to greater redundancy and resilience in global supply chains, reducing the risk of disruptions due to natural disasters, political instability, or other unforeseen events. The rise of alternative routes could also lead to changes in regional economic dynamics. Countries located along these new trade routes could experience increased economic activity. New ports could emerge as hubs for shipping and logistics, creating jobs and boosting local economies. This shift could also lead to new geopolitical alliances as countries compete for control and influence over these vital trade arteries. A new world order. Geopolitical implications of trade route diversification. The diversification of trade routes extends beyond economic implications. It could reshape the geopolitical landscape. The Panama Canal, for much of its history, has been intertwined with power dynamics in the Americas. Control of the canal was a strategic asset, influencing relationships between nations. The emergence of alternative routes, particularly those backed by major powers like China, has the potential to shift this balance of power. The Nicaragua Canal, for example, if completed with Chinese investment and influence, could have significant geopolitical ramifications. It could enhance China's presence in the region, potentially challenging U.S. influence in the Western Hemisphere. The diversification of trade routes could also foster new alliances and partnerships. Countries located along these routes may find common ground in ensuring their security and maximizing their economic benefits. This could lead to new regional blocs and cooperation on issues related to trade, infrastructure development, and maritime security. The Panama Canal's uncertain future. Adaptation or obsolescence. The Panama Canal stands at a crossroads. The waterway that has facilitated global trade for over a century faces an uncertain future. Climate change threatens its very operation, while ambitious competitors emerge, vying for their place in a rapidly evolving landscape of global trade. The Panama Canal Authority recognizes these challenges. It is investing in innovation, seeking ways to adapt and ensure the canal's continued relevance. Water-saving technologies, alternative water sources, and even the possibility of a fourth set of locks to accommodate larger vessels are all on the table. Whether these efforts will be enough to secure the Panama Canal's future remains to be seen. The competition is fierce, and the stakes are high. The outcome of this race for dominance will have profound implications for global trade, geopolitics, and the very flow of goods and services that connect our world. The Panama Canal story is far from over, but one thing is certain: the world is watching, and the future of global maritime trade hangs in the balance.